Welcome to the 50th edition of Len's Burning Bush. I am Len Harvey. And before I bring on my guest for the week, since this is a special episode, I thought it would be good to talk about 49 rants that I've had before. Now, it all started back on April the 12th already. Wow. Episode 1 was Eastover. We talked about Passover and Easter and always saying for those who celebrate, which I can't stand. Episode 2 was acronyms, and I can't stand those. We have way too many of them, and most people don't even understand what the acronym actually stands for. So that's the problem. And then, I had an acronym on my third episode called 2MOFs, which is miserable old you-know-what, chatting. Episode 4, we talked about Coronacation. Episode 5 was about Mother's Day. Episode 6, we talked about 5th grade graduation signs. God, we really have gone overboard. Number 7, we talked about airlines and how they warrant social distancing. Number 8 was a great episode back in my day with my old friends. 9 was surveys. I don't want to go to White Castles and have to fill out a survey. I don't like surveys in any form. Too many choices was number 10. Father's Day, number 11, and those who celebrate there. 12 was fireworks and parades. I don't get either one. I don't like either one. Number 13 was July 4th celebrations and those people that post their birthday charities, like you were actually going to get them a gift in the first place, right? So that's number 13. Number 14, it's summer. It's supposed to be hot. 15 was drinking in a pandemic, and don't tell me how much it's safe to do that. 16 was travel plans get derailed in the Bahamas. 17, don't rush my summer. We actually talked about exit velocity in baseball on number 18. 19 was curbside pickup. 20, Halloween candy in August and why we don't need that. 21 was virtual back to school. 22, can't we just have some positive news, PNN. 23 was gender reveal parties and why we don't need those. 24, Jewish New Year. 25, ugh, fall. 26 was no more political ads. 27, there is a day for everything, National Everything Day. 28 was those voting stickers and your adult participation trophies. 29, can't we all get along? 30, candy on Halloween and what kind do we like? 31 was a voting app instead of that archaic in-person voting. 32, pay-per-view holiday shows. 33 was Thanksgiving in the pandemic. 34, please NFL, get the Cowboys and the Lions off for the Thanksgiving games. I can't stand it anymore. 35 was a classic, you can wrestle, but you can't shake hands. Yes, that was a thing. And it still is a thing. You can't shake hands. 36, let's end the senseless gift exchange. 37 was 'Twas Right Before Christmas poem. 38 was Good Riddance 2020. 39, 21 was Here. Hopefully it'll be better. 40, social media, good and bad. 41, 2021 still feels like it's kind of like 2020, right? 42 was the Bernie Sanders meme everywhere. 43, existing customers, we need the same deal as the new customers. I mean, come on already. We do. 44 was move the Super Bowl party and everything to Saturday. 45, we went through the Valentine's Day challenge. 46, too much medical information on social media, or the sharing of that. 47, Teams, Zoom, WebEx, get the heck off mute. And 48 was the group text, get me out of it. It's too much on the group text. And last week, number 49, not everything needs to be green on St. Patrick's Day. Now, thanks to all my guests for those 49 rants. For a complete list of all guests and episode, you can like and follow my Facebook page at Len's Burning Bush. I would like to actually hear from you and see which episode you liked, you hated. Again, I don't like surveys, but why not? Why not just do a survey and just totally screw up the whole process here and get people to say what they liked and what they didn't like. With that being said, it's time to bring on my guest for the week. He appeared in episode 4, Coronacation. Today, we are going to prove that the sequel is as good as the original. He is the first duplicate guest, and he is a good one. My legendary Hebrew, the great Paul Phillipy, joins Len Burning Bush. Coronacation 2, Corona Harder. Is that what we're doing?
Yes. Yes.
I love it.
The only thing we're missing is an airplane.
Yes. We could use the airplane because the second movie took place for the Die Hard movie. Die Harder is kind of where we got that. The second movie was in D.C. The first movie was the Nakatomi Plaza, which you happen to be wearing the shirt today.
Yeah.
Christmas party.
I found this shirt on eBay. Nakatomi Plaza Christmas Party Survivor. Love this shirt. I'll probably wear it till the end. I may be buried in it.
Till the end. Listen to you. We probably don't, between you and I, we probably don't have a heck of a lot of time, but we got to finish this show first. But who knows? It's kind of that way. But how can, I just can't believe that this is the 50th episode of this. We've had some great guests through the whole time. But just doing this through the whole Coronacation, through this coronavirus, April 12th will be 1 year, and everybody celebrated kind of the year with what was Coronacation. Now, you and I, on our previous episode, we talked about Corona blowing in the wind. And one of the things we tried to come up with, we thought it'd be a good idea to have Kansas come on and sing Corona blowing in the wind. And what are your thoughts of that? Do we need to come back with that song? All we need is it's COVID in the wind. All it is COVID in the wind. Right? There we go. We got our song. It's crazy. But the good news is, since we did our last episode, we now have vaccines. And people are getting them. Yeah. And just so you know, you and I, now beginning Monday in the state of Kentucky, you don't have to no longer be 60 and above. You could be 50 and above and get your appointment. So,
oh, my gosh.
What the heck?
I knew that getting older would come in handy someday.
Absolutely. That and the fact that you can be on the AARP mailing list, which is just a good thing. But
dude, they came after me 5 years ago before I was 50.
Wow.
And I don't know how many golf bags they wanted to give me, but they keep sending me, if you join now, you get a free golf bag.
Just like
I'm not taking it.
No, just like the episode I talked about, don't rush my summer, don't rush my old age. I don't need to be rushed. It's funny. Mickey Mantle said it best. If I knew I was going to live this long, I would have taken a lot better care of myself.
Oh my gosh. That's what my 93-year-old father says. He said, I didn't really think I was going to make this long. He's in such good health. I'm going to give him my eulogy to read at my funeral. He'll be around when I'm gone.
See, I would like.
There's only three. There used to be two things will survive atomic. I guess that's how old I am. A nuclear war, and that would be cockroaches, Elvis, and now my father.
Wow. I thought it was Keith Richards, too. I thought Keith Richards and Betty White. You could answer those.
Well, if you get younger blood transfused in you can live for a while longer.
I was thinking
But who wants to? Have you seen Keith Richards?
Yeah, he looks like he's been dead for 20 years and no one's told him. That's the kind of thing. So I would like, you talked about your demise and your eulogy, right? I would like it mine. Yeah. So make sure this happens, Paul. If in fact I do collapse after this episode, make sure that at my funeral, it's not really a funeral, it's a celebration. I would like a $5 cover, 4-drink minimum at my overall service. I think that would be fun for everybody. There should be no tears, and maybe they should just play all episodes of Len's Burning Bush. Maybe there'll be thousands and millions. There might be millions of them by then. Who knows? I might live to be 107. I doubt it. But, it's kind of interesting, right? Let's have that.
If you stay off motorcycles, you might make it 107. But
yeah, speaking of that, the arm is better now. Thank goodness. I did happen to have a little mishap on the original class, which I didn't get into too much detail, but yes, I'm back to about my usual 89%. I think is what I am. I never was at 100. I'm about 89. I'm about 89 to 90, maybe. Right? It's kind of the way we think.
Hey, your bowling has gotten fantastic. Speaking of which, I remember a year ago, maybe a little bit more than a year ago, when we were at bowling, and you mentioned I'd really like to do a podcast. And of course, neither one of us knew what pod meant at the time. Play on demand, another acronym.
Yep.
But you said I'd really like to do something like that, and you said I'd like to talk about things that bother me. It's my therapy.
Yes.
During this Coronacation stuff, and you've done a great job. You've gotten authors, you've gotten TV personalities, you've gotten your bowling buddies. You've gotten people from your old neighborhood. You've done a fantastic job. And there's one thing that holds this podcast together. And I'm not blowing smoke because I'm your biggest critic whenever we talk anyway. But one thing is you are an engaging host. You actually You come up with interesting topics, and you're fun to listen to, even in person. It's like being with you at the bowling alley when I'm talking to you on here or listening to your podcast. This is how Lenny is in real life. If you've never got the privilege of hanging out with Lenny, then you're missing out. He is every bit as engaging in person as he is on this podcast.
Wow.
There you go. Now where's my check?
Yeah. Yeah. Screw you. Pay me. Right. That's terrific. Thank you for that. And of course we'll have to now, anybody that's downloading in the UK or Japan or anybody else that we have, they can come and hang out with me. That'll be the new thing, right? They want to hang out. They want Len's Burning Bush and they want it live. I want it now. It's like that commercial. It's my money and I need it now.
I have a structured podcast and I need Lenny now. Do we have to pay for that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I do whatever I want, and it's the old saying: you just kind of do what you want, and then you worry about the consequences later.
It's
right?
easier to ask forgiveness than permission.
Absolutely. Speaking of asking forgiveness, did you know the IRS, through this whole Corona thing, they have been so nice. No, I'm just kidding. The IRS,
okay,
yeah. Well, I'm getting this. I have a point. It just takes me longer as being older. The point is that the IRS is delaying the April 15th tax filing deadline to May 17th. They felt that it was giving taxpayers an additional month to file returns and pay any outstanding levies. Now, the postponement applies to individual taxpayers, including people who pay self-employment tax. The IRS said in a statement earlier on Wednesday, the relief does not apply to first quarter 21 estimated tax payments. Of course it doesn't, right? That many small businesses owe, which that could probably help them. But again, God forbid, right? We can't have that. The agency said those payments are still due on April 15th. The IRS says it plans to issue more guidance in the coming days. So I have to figure out something. Since I have to pay, but I've already filed, do I still have to submit the payment on the 15th or not? I don't know that. I'd be curious.
No, you don't. You don't have to pay till the 17th. I did extensive research on this because I'm a firm believer that the IRS does not get any money that they say I owe them until the day that I owe it to them. That's when it gets postmarked. If I owe them on the 15th, it gets postmarked on the 15th.
Absolutely.
They don't get it the 14th. But from what I've read, since you've already filed, did you receive any unemployment compensation?
No, I did not.
During your time off?
No.
Okay, then you should be fine. But if you've already filed, then you've already you don't have to pay till the 17th.
Well, that
is
good.
Owe money.
Yeah, and that the IRS is one vendor or one debtor or whatever you want to call whatever that is. They will only get a physical check. Like, I don't send a physical check to anybody anymore, but they are the one that I'm mailing the physical check to. Because it's like, you know what?
I will spend the 57 cents.
Maybe I'll do a Costanza and forget to sign it or, whatever. I don't know. Give it an extra 30, give it an extra 60 days to, because it's my money and I need it now. That's the way it is.
I had a friend who used to pay her bill. For her phone, back in snail mail days.
Oh.
But she would leave the envelope open and not put a check in it and claim that the check had fallen out during the mailing. And then she'd get an extension that way. It only worked a couple times, and they caught on.
Yeah, that's kind of brilliant.
Not that I'm advocating that.
No.
It is brilliant, yes.
I think that's terrific. That it's the ingenuity of stuff like that just makes America great.
Yeah.
The way you could delay payment without, like, forgetting to sign the check. See, that's the bad part now of automatic payments now. It takes all the fun out of that. You can't, you can't delay it. It's got, like, I pay all my, even any cards I pay, it's always on the phone or whatever. You pay it. It's a quick, easy process. Although I find it interesting that the water company in Boone County or in Burlington, they offer up this service where they automatically take it out, but there is a convenience fee. And I'm thinking to myself, how is it convenient for me? Right?
Exactly.
I'm paying $1.95. Like, where are you doing with this $1.95? It's kind of the interesting thing. Like, if they take a credit card payment, they have to pay, I guess. But I do it through the check, or a bank account. So to me, I shouldn't have to pay anything.
You shouldn't.
Right?
But
it's a scam.
do the math. It's $1.95 times what? Probably 2 million customers.
Yeah.
They're making a fortune. I speaking of that, SD1.
Oh God,
Sanitation
I
District
hate
1.
them. I hate them.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
But they started moving their due date. Like when I first started paying for it, it was due on the 10th of the month. Now it moved up to the 3rd.
Yeah.
So I called them and I said, "You're getting 7 days extra of my money." They go, "Well, because of February 28th and 31st and 30th and all this, it's a rolling payment." And they said, "But we do it by hand right now, but we're about to get it to where it's going to be automated and it should catch up to it." I go, "Well, still seems like you guys are getting a little extra bang for your buck. I'm paying." It'd be like having my car payment on the 5th, and then all of a sudden they say we're going to start taking it out on the 31st. They just got 4 more days of free, well, free to them, but I have to pay for extra service for 4 more days, and I don't get my bang for my buck. So that was an interesting conversation. The wife enjoyed that one.
Yes.
Listening on the phone. She likes to listen to me when I bicker about money with people.
It's a good thing. I do it all the time. But the just so people that are not familiar with the SD1 is it's basically the company that, I guess what they do is they clean the water, or they do something to the water, and
they take our crap.
Yeah. They take out all the other stuff. So you pay so the way it works here. Now in New York it was a lot different. New Jersey, you pay a water bill once a month and that's it. But with this, you pay a water company, you pay the sanitation district, which is not garbage, it's the cleanse of the water. There's a separate garbage company. That's another story. But you pay this, and I swear to you, it's like it's a scam. I'm paying like $100 a month to wash clothes and take a shower, right? That's pretty much what it is. And it's just ridiculous.
Well, SD1, it says they base your sanitation bill on your water usage. So if you have, during the summer, our sanitation bill goes up because we water our lawn to make it look pretty, because, we try to be good neighbors.
Keeping up with the Joneses,
make sure that our property. Yeah. Well, no, the Joneses try to keep up with us. My wife is a total fanatic on her yard has to look perfect. We do seeding, we do weeding, we do everything. We mulch. Every year you've seen on our feed, there's a picture of our mulching. Every May we do 2 houses. And this is a little tip for you gentlemen. Try not to live 4 doors away from your in-laws, because you will end up mulching 2 houses every year. I don't know if you ever shoveled mulch or if you've ever had to put it in wheelbarrows and take it anywhere, but my gosh, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm 54. So by the time we get done the next day, I can barely move.
Yeah, we need to hire a guy for you. You need a guy. We need to get you a guy. There's just no way we
have
should.
A guy?
Yeah, you need a guy. I got a guy for you. We'll get you all set up on it. It's we need to do this.
But there's such satisfaction in getting it done myself, because when we're done, it's so beautiful. During the time, we have to go take a truck and a wagon hitched onto it, and we make like 4 trips to get. It's a bunch of mulch, but we get that done. But it's so pretty afterwards. It's like our house when you finally come over to see it. We decided, well, my wife and I were arguing. Well, we weren't arguing. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say arguing. We were discussing whether to get carpeting or hardwood floors. I wanted carpeting because I like carpeting. She wanted hardwood floors. So we compromised and got hardwood floors. And so I had to learn how to do it myself. I went on YouTube. Fantastic place to learn how to do anything.
Yeah, and follow Paul Phillipy on YouTube.
Yeah. Yes, I do have my own YouTube channel. But there's satisfaction. We got done, and I was just looking upstairs at what we've got done so far, and it is gorgeous. And me and my father-in-law and my wife did it all and saved probably about $6,000 in the process.
Wow.
So
look at
that's
you.
the end of
Well, maybe you could do this. So it's funny you bring this up. So in your house, this is what I want you to do. So before, when I called you earlier, you happened to be in your lavatory, and then you moved down to the man cave. But here's what we need to do, Paul. There is a house. I saw this today, and I thought,
Orleans?
yeah, this is a great house. So a New York house, apparently. So appeared on a Facebook page, and this is a classic. Zillow gone wild. So apparently this is what we're coming up with with Corona, right there. This is the best stuff. Zillow Gone Wild, which showcases unique listings on the real estate site. Now, this particular home, which is located in the town of Ridge, New York. Okay, I don't know where that is, but it's listed as having 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. Now, that doesn't sound too big deal, right? But based on the photos, however, it appears that one of those bathrooms, now get this, you ready? You're sitting down for this? It actually...
I am totally ready.
Oh, good. I hope people have pretty much said I'm out. They're waiting for this. One of those bathrooms includes a kitchen. I kid you not, a kitchen. Now listen to this. Listen to this. The listing says flexible living areas. Okay, flexible living areas. Apparently, because it's flexible, you can, have an area to suit your needs. Why am I suiting my needs in the bathroom? You're putting a kitchen in the bathroom. So in one of the photos, one of the rooms appears to have a toilet. Okay, obviously you need a toilet, right? For obvious reasons. A shower stall, right? Because you want to get clean. And then a stove and several cabinets installed next to the sink. Now, there's no door blocking the bathroom area from the oven, so that could be a problem, right? It's just, we get the idea of using the existing plumbing, right, to add a kitchen for an apartment, but in the bathroom? I don't know. What are your thoughts of this? This sounds a little rogue. I don't know. A lot of RVs have the sink and all that stuff too, but to have a kitchen inside of a bathroom, it's kind of like Kramer when he used to cook in the shower, in the episode.
Wash his vegetables, yeah.
I cooked this whole meal in the shower. And then everybody just started to throw up.
I mean, I'm all for multitasking. I think that, there's a lot to do in one day.
Right.
Oh, something popped up. Never mind. There's a lot to do in one day, but oh my gosh, to try to cook while you're using the restroom. Have you ever done the pants around your ankles waddle?
Of course we all have.
Well, yeah, because there's no TP in the bathroom and you have to do the pants around your ankles waddle to go get it. Can you imagine doing that in a kitchen in your or in your restroom?
I don't know. I think that would be a little bit much. I think people, we go overboard with certain things, and I don't think a kitchen in the bathroom is going to be. I would like to have a kitchen in the basement. I think that might make sense. But a kitchen in the bathroom, I'm going to say I'm out. I don't want that. What are your thoughts?
I actually have one of those. We call it the kitchenette, but it's downstairs in our house. We just got done flooring, by the way. Thank you, YouTube, again.
Oh, hey.
But yeah, I was going to say, when you're getting ready to eat, you like to say, man, something smells good, but can you do that?
No.
When you're on the toilet, yeah.
I think
someone's baking brownies, but not.
I think Leonard Skinner said it right. Ooh, that smell. Can't you smell? Can't you smell that smell?
I think that's what he's talking about. Speaking of Zillow, it's almost a cult. And that's what people do. They just sit and they look at houses that there's no way they could ever possibly afford. And I think Saturday Night Live did a sketch on that where the guy was looking at it and he kept getting calls from a realtor because Zillow is hooked up to realtors, of course, and they try to contact you about buying the houses. But yeah, it's right up there with the same women who when their men leave, they like to watch murder mystery shows.
Wow.
The reality shows.
Yes.
There's a big thing about that where even one of the ladies I work with, she said, as soon as my boyfriend leaves to go to work, I'm watching a show about Jeffrey Dahmer or somebody. And I call it research. My wife used to watch a show called Snapped, and she would tell me what the women did wrong to get caught. And I go, you know what, honey, I love you very much. If you want to get rid of me, just tell me to go. You can have the house. Just let me live. That's all I want. You don't have to kill me to take anything.
Yeah, this training for the killing is not good. We don't need to be training for the killing.
But with my life insurance policy, she always says, I will miss you, but it'll be in a much warmer climate.
Oh, I like that. See, I love you, but I want to see other people is a good thing too. There you go. You can just kind of move on to the next thing. So getting back to the bathroom and the kitchen, this is what a user. This is what a user wrote. I always wanted a bathroom kitchen combo. I think I'd fall over trying to reach the TP, but I guess putting it next to the stove could be a fire hazard. There you go. So this is what I find on these are the things I look for in news, right? I mean, because again, this is what makes me laugh, right? This is the toilet paper, the whole thing. We kind of gone full circle. The toilet paper is now back on the shelves, and now you can have the kitchen and the bathroom, and you can have it all, and you can be like Kramer and wash yourself while you're cooking dinner.
Seinfeld was way ahead of its time on that stuff.
Absolutely. I think that they're always that way. I mean, you look at the Seinfeld episodes, and they're just always, there's something that really is awesome about that show. It just continues to watch it.
Well, going back to my 93-year-old father, he discovered Seinfeld, and that's all he talked about for 2 whole years. He goes, that Kramer, and when my dad gets tickled, he's worse than me. He's like, and that's what I'd have to hear. That Kramer, what'd he do, Dad? He's washing vegetables.
Yeah, washing vegetables in the shower. There you go. So you can wash vegetables. So we're going to give you a little bit of a tip here. Now, I know, Paul, you don't have any kids, but you're one of those people
that I know of.
Yeah, exactly, that you know of. Apparently, the way to raise successful kids. You want to know what that is? Because I'd like to know.
Sure.
How do you realize? Well, apparently it says to make them, listen to this, make them do chores. That apparently is the secret. If you make them do chores, this could help. And a lot of these helicopter parents and all this other stuff that we don't do these kids any favors, right? So we need to start getting them to do their chores, do the laundry, do whatever, right? What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think it's very important. I've seen parents who, going back to your helicoptering, they circle around and make sure that nobody hurts their kids' feelings or that they get their participation trophy. Yep. See, I'm bringing it back around to your other shows.
I love it.
But they don't want to put in the work. Your kids are going to hate you. If my mom always said, if you hate me, I am doing my job. And if you're going to be their best friend, then you're in the wrong profession, because you're not doing your kids any favors by not getting them ready for the real world. Because if you baby your kids and you don't make them do chores and do things on time, then you're going to end up having kids like some of the people that I've been forced to work with in the last 21 years in the service industry, who expect everybody else to do their job. All they have to do is go and wait their tables and then collect their money, and then that's where their responsibility ends. They don't have to clean up. They don't have to do side work. They don't have to do anything, because mom and dad did not force them to do it, because they did not want them to hate them.
There you go.
And I know I'm not a parent. I wouldn't say I don't have any kids, but I helped with a couple kids throughout my life. And that was my big thing, was tough love, because that's what my mom did. And I think I turned out pretty well. I'm a productive member of society. I pay my taxes on April 15th or May 17th, depending on what year it is. I try to make sure that I am positive to the people around me, try to help people out in our neighborhood. And, but that's all due to my upbringing from my mom. Now, back to my dad, he wasn't around a lot when I was growing up, but he helped me become the man I am today, too, in his own way.
Well, speaking of the man you are today you're going to be marrying your brother. You want to explain that? Because it sounds like an episode of Deliverance. It sounds like a Kentucky thing that you're marrying your brother. But explain how this works.
That means different things in different states. But basically I'm going to say 6 years ago, my wife's friend couldn't find anyone to do her wedding ceremony. So my wife, in her infinite wisdom, said, well, why don't you just go online and get ordained at one of those online churches? So I kept looking around, and they had like the Universal Church and all this stuff. But then all of a sudden, there was one shining light. It was a church based on the Big Lebowski, the Church of the Latter-day Dude.
I love it.
So that was the one I joined. I am now known as Pastor Dude, because the dude abides.
I love it.
But once I got ordained there, I can marry people in Indiana, Kentucky, and Ohio. And my brother, who just turned, I think he's like 31, he's never been married, but he asked me to do his ceremony. So I'm going to go marry him in Indiana today to his future bride, Taylor. Can't wait to do that. But it's really neat because when I have to sign all the wedding certificates, I have to list my church affiliation and I have to list my title. So there's 31, well, 30. I've done 30 weddings and they're all still married. But there at the bottom it says Pastor Dude, Church of the Latter-day Dude on all those on all those wedding certificates.
Oh, that is brilliant. The fact, and anybody that needs, so here's what we'll do. Anybody in the Cincinnati area, if they need someone to marry them, Paul Phillipy is available for weddings, not bar mitzvahs, but he's ready for weddings. No, he's ready. He's ready to marry you. So if you need to get married, just follow Paul Phillipy and get him a note. You could follow him on Facebook, right?
Right. And we try to do the fun weddings. Like the first opening I ever did was, Dearly beloved, loved, we're gathered here today to celebrate this thing called life. That was my very first wedding opening. And that got me a gig at was it Wiedemann Hill Mansion? I was their go-to guy whenever anybody got married. So, but it's a lot of. I like to do fun weddings. Of course, there's seriousness because it's a solemn ceremony.
Yes,
that's what they call it, the solemnization of marriage.
The diamond ring, the wedding ring, and the suffer ring is the kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm just teasing. What marriage is a blissful event, and it should be taken seriously,
Yes.
But if you want to have somebody marry you, I think that's terrific. And, the fact that you can do it, there's nothing you can't do, Paul Phillipy. You're a talented individual. You and I have done karaoke together. We have, we need to go back to that. But you and I, we used to go out Tuesday nights. We'd go out to karaoke after, you have your Wednesdays and Thursdays off because of your profession in the server industry and working at the great lob, as they say. So one of the things, we'd go out Tuesday nights, right? That was the night to go out.
Yeah.
So that was your Friday. But we would go out and we would sing. And every once in a while, we've done a couple of good ones. The best one, and I wish we had video of this, we did Whip It by Devo, and we put the buckets at the bar on our heads doing Whip It. Whip it good, right? But
that was a great time.
But nothing beats the two of us. And again, I can sing a little bit. Okay, I'll play a singer on TV. But what's fun about it? We actually did Boys to Men, I'll Make Love to You a couple of times, and the women in the audience were swaying like we were celebrities.
Yeah.
It was
yes, it was great.
So I want to do that again. We need to go back to that. We need to go back to karaoke and singing. And you are brilliant when you do it. You have some cut song, and your wife Leanne does. Every time I hear a few songs that she does on a regular basis, I always think of her when I hear the song on the radio. So, because she does
it's nice to know you think of my wife. I'll tell her that.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to think of Leanne, but and she gets a shout out today.
Oh, good. I'll make sure she hears that too. We'll be listening. We always, when we take our long trips, like it's about 2 hours to get to my brother's wedding, but we always try to listen to one or two of your podcasts on the way. So that's how we catch up.
Wow.
Because between the housework and everything.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but you finished between the housework and everything. You got stuff to do.
Yeah, between housework and work and living 4 doors up from my in-laws, it's there's a lot to do. Multitasking is a hard thing to do, but I'm going to shout out one other thing.
Go right ahead.
Google Nest. I know there's Alexa and there's Google Nest, but we got Google Nest for Christmas, and then we got a free trial for YouTube. Once again, YouTube. But just calling out a song and having it play just by the sound of your voice, wow. If you'd have told me that was going to happen 20 years ago, I would have laughed in your face. But I don't know how we live without it now. We'll come home and get ready from work, and I'll say, okay, I won't say it too loud because then it'll play it. But okay, Google, play Dandy Warhol's Horse-Sized Pills.
Wow.
Bam. There it is.
That's crazy. Well,
my only complaint is she doesn't listen all the time and do what I tell her. But hey, we're married. We know it didn't work.
It's kind of like being married all over again to Google Nest and to Alexa and Siri as well. They don't seem to want to listen to everything. They take whatever they want to hear and they kind of transfer it. But you mentioned about that, and you can actually I think on your Google Nest. I don't know. I am on Google Play. So if you ask Google Play to play Len's Burning Bush podcast, then I think maybe
yes, it does.
It does. Okay, look at that. It does it on Amazon too. So Alexa will do it, and also I think Siri can do it as well. So look at that. Who would have thought that we'd be in a situation that could happen?
Why don't you say it really loud right now, and it'll turn on their Alexa and their Google, and they'll start playing Len's Burning Bush on their.
I had that happen on one of the episodes where I was playing back an episode, and I said, Alexa, please play Len's Burning Bush podcast. I just did it, and it will start to play. It'll start to play it. Yeah. So everybody who has Alexa better turn it off when you're listening to this episode. But
I mentioned my 93-year-old dad. He was born in 27. So he's lived. They used to have a cart hooked up to a goat. Is how they got around. He's lived through that to, automobiles being commonplace, to watching people go into space, to being able to look up anything. Whenever he's in the car and I need to go somewhere, I'll just say, okay, Google, give me this address. And he'll go, well, I can't say what he says because he's 93. He has no filter.
Nah.
But basically, it's, gee whiz, you can do that on a phone and get directions. I go, Dad, I don't know how we got around without this. I used to have big old books with maps in it to go anywhere. But now all I have to do is put in an address for my location, and bam, it tells me how to get there. And he's just amazed. But he's lived through the greatest, I'm going to say the greatest age of civilization, because we have gone from goats and carts to another rover on Mars. It's amazing to me what we can do.
In addition to the self cars too.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ones that park themselves. I don't know where that was. That's one of the only 2 accidents I've ever had in my life was parking, trying to park between 2 cars. Yeah. So thank you, Tesla, and everybody who's come up with that.
That's terrific. I am so glad. I mean, we can go on and on, but you have to get to your brother's wedding. You have to marry your brother. Again, not what that sounds like.
It does in Kentucky.
It does not mean. But what I want here is I want again to hear what your favorite episode of Len's Burning Bush, and if it's this episode, that's fine too. You can tweet at Len's Burning Bush as well. So follow on Facebook or however you do it, but get a note to me and say, hey, what's my favorite episode of Len's Burning Bush? Like it, Facebook, Twitter, follow on YouTube at Len Harvey. You can follow, look for Len Harvey. It's, I think, Lenny-L 1015, but you can look and search for Len Harvey and you'll find it on YouTube. I've been downloading or uploading, got it wrong. I was uploading episodes to, so what will happen now is the episode automatically will get linked to YouTube in addition. So like my channel, I don't have any subscribers. I have only a few. So please, I'm begging you, just subscribe to the stupid thing. I don't even know half of this stuff, but just subscribe to it. Do me a favor. We are on all of these platforms, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Alexa, Amazon Music as mentioned, Stitcher. We're in like 32 states. We've got downloads in the UK every week. I want to thank everyone in the UK that listens, Ireland, Germany, Switzerland, Norway. I can't believe Japan even, Mexico, Canada. It's like, why in the world would they want to listen to this? But who knows? Everybody's got their own kind of style. But Paul Phillipy, thank you so much for joining. This has been wonderful. 50 episodes of Len's Burning Bush. I'm excited about it. Nifty 50. And one other thing that I'll mention on the last thing, we will go over 3,000 downloads today. Now, that's not a huge amount, but 3,000 downloads. Let's try to get to 5,000 quick. That's kind of where I want to go. But over 3,000 downloads in the time we're doing it. So thanks to everybody for listening.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks to all the guests on the first 50 episodes. Again, thanks to Paul Phillipy. We'll be back again with another episode 51 of Len's Burning Bush next week. So long.